Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome to Space Engineers. Now, we are going to make a Space Engineers playthrough due to some popular demand. I launched the poll and the people as spoken. Now, before we get into the game, let's just go through quickly the settings that we are going to use. This is as far as we can push it, at least for my system, before things starting to drop in frames. But in any case, let's go and start a new game. The game that we have over there is the game that we were playing on stream. But now, I want to do a YouTube playthrough for this. Now, we're going to do a star system. Right, now let's go into mods. I don't have a lot of mods, I just kind of have these 3 mods. I believe this one is necessary for the build vision, so yeah. Very simple, but I believe we can add more mods in the future if it is required. But in any case, let's go into the advanced mode now. I'm going to leave pretty much everything as is, except there is one thing that I believe it is important to add, or maybe this is already added by default. I believe it is experimental mode, and I can't find it. In any case, I believe I can change it in the future if it turns out to be truly necessary. Now, let's start our game in offline mode, yes please. And let's see if we can get a good start. Okay, so let's go for our first attempt, Earth-like drop pod. Let's respawn, or in this case, spawn for the first time. Now, let's go into the outside view. I'm pretty sure there is nothing I can do right now, except for crossing my fingers that we are going to land in a flat area and we don't roll down this hill, which is not very likely to happen. But that's okay. If that's the case, we just respawn once again until we hit a good spot. Oh, maybe we might get lucky and not roll down this hill? Please? No, 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 no. First try, okay. Ooh. And nothing got smashed. We got one landing gear stuck to the ground and that's all that we actually need. Let's pull out our end drill and start a little bit of a scouting to see if there is any nodes around us, which I don't believe that there is, because there is a ore detector on this thing, and if it was, I think it would pop out. Now, our plan is quite simple. First, we need to build a tiny little starter base, and we are going to do it right here where our pod has landed. The starter base is going to pretty much help us out into building some components. A basic assembler and a basic refinery is going to be more than enough. And then, from here, we are going to try and do some scouting to look for a ice lake and a iron ore deposit. The ice lake is pretty much necessary for us to have some fuel to go into space, and the iron ore deposit is pretty much a really good location to base at, because you know you're going to need a lot of iron, and you want to minimize the time that you are traveling between getting your iron and start building, because this game it's quite large and things can start to get really far apart, and travel time is a thing. So if we can base right on top of the iron node, that would be ideal. And yeah, I don't think we are going to get any lucky over here. Was just trying to see if I would find anything, because the range on that thing is 50 meters. So I'm just going to try and do a quick circle around, see if we got lucky, because we are on a mountainous terrain after all, and this is prime territory for deposits. But I don't think we got lucky, so we are just going to go into this ravine over here in front of our spawn area, and we are going to start carving a little tunnel for ourselves so that we can collect some stone to refine. And we are going to be careful not to break our legs, because that would be terrible. Okay, game, so where should I start mining? Let's go over into this side, seems to be somewhat more stable. Yep. Okay. Now I have the sneaky sound mod, so this should not pierce your ears, but still, for the first few moments, this noise is quite irritating, but then you get used to it. Come on, let's keep on mining. We want to eat the good stuff, because surface rock is not as good as deep rock, although because we are in a mountain, I'm pretty sure this counts as deep rock. We'll see. I just want to fill up my inventory with a bunch of stone, so we can bring back to our drop pod. There we go, that's pretty much more than enough. Come on, get out of here and try not to break your legs. Drop pod, where are you? Here we are. Now we go into our drop pod, we look for our survival kit or survival constructor, and we try to... come on, please. Game. The hell? Oh. Yeah, we alt, middle click to deposit that stone, and we go over here, into production, and select a bajillion ingots. Now that is pretty much nothing. We got like 5 grams of nothingness, so we are going to need a bunch more rock in order for us to acquire sufficient components to make anything decent. But if we can get at least 3 inventories worth of stone, that is going to allow us to at least build maybe a fabricator? Basic assembler, I mean. Not fabricator. Now, luckily, because our inventory... luckily or unluckily, as you might... it will all depend to you. To your... oh, lights, please. Thank you. I'm afraid of the dark. Because our inventory is not that large, we can fill it up quite quickly. Come here. We want, by the way, we want to minimize the amount of entities in the world from an early stage, because entities cause performance issues, and this system is not exactly top of the line. So if there is anything that our Oxygen Not Included playthrough has taught us, is that entities are bad. The game doesn't like them. Now, let me take a look at our surroundings. This is relatively flat, so let's create ourselves a few steel plates to start creating some ghosts. Hello, here you are. Okay. Production. Build me a couple. Oh, maybe not that many. Yeah, wow. Wow. The minuscule amount of stone that I got almost is not enough to build us 20 plates. Yikes. This is why we want to be on top of an iron node when we start doing some serious construction. Now let's go into inventory, let's take those plates. Now we need those plates if we want to place down some blocks. Okay, we want to align to the planet, local grid, free placement, gravity alignment. This is what we want. And well, any place is as good as any, so let's go. Let's place a couple of these bad boys on the floor, and well, we need to create a small tower to put a windmill, one of these, a wind turbine, to generate power for our assembler. If you use our jetpack, let's try to use it sparingly, its fuel is not exactly plentiful in the early stage. Pretty sure we need interior plates, of course we do. Of course we do. Where is my thingy? Oh, by the way, guys, I get like disorientated really quickly. Okay, so just try to bear with me when I get lost. Let's just get a few of these. so that we can place at least the ghosts down of these things. Come on. Come on. There we go. And I believe this is a basic assembler. Yes, now we need to be careful with that yellow port over there, you see. We want it pointing forwards. We don't want to block it. The reason for that is the access point towards the logistics system of the game. As we can see, the basic refinery has also a yellow port. That means these two buildings are going to be communicating with each other and sharing resources. Great, now this is going to be pretty darn expensive. Oh, we also need a battery. Almost forgot that. Now, how the hell do I access my thingy? I believe it's G. Now, let's search battery. Battery. I don't have it unlocked, which means I need to do something to unlock it. Let's go over here. Let's look for it. Battery. It needs what? It needs a basic assembler. If we build a basic assembler, I'm going to unlock myself the battery. So, let's take care of that first, shall we? Let's right-click to add the components to our build planner, and then let's left-click it to try and withdraw them. As we can't, we are going to shift left, middle-click to put the components into production. Now, I can tell you that we are not going to have enough iron, so it's time to do some more mining over here. If I can find my tiny little hole. Here it is. Give it to me. Time to do some more mining. Okay, so with another inventory full of stone, we are going to go back into our spot over there. Hello, beautiful. How are you? It would be amazing if these were all the stone... Oh, wrong keys. Let's put everything in there and let's just take a look at our... Ooh. Oof. Okay. Okay, so we want to do this. We want to put the iron ingots on the back of the production queue, so that whenever the resources are available, the survival kit will prioritize building the components that we need. That way we are not stuck processing those ingots forever. But that tells us that we are going to need more stone. So let me go get that stone. Like, I definitely need to create a GPS marker. I believe GPS markers is GPS. Mine. Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, you see? We just created a GPS marker. If I then am tired of it, I just can go over here, GPS, and delete it. But yeah, I need it, guys, because I just am losing myself. Oh, we just got an unknown signal. You know what? In the very early game, it's quite a good find. It's quite a good find. Especially because it's coming right at us. Oh boy, we want it. We want it badly. In these things you can get good tools, good components, and just scrapping them, it's, like, fantastic. Let's go get that bad boy. You're going to be mine. I'm going to grind you down. You're going to give me all of your good stuff. And please don't run away from me. Because these things are just tiny little pots. You get skins and stuff from them. But you also get a couple of components sometimes. You get some plates. Sometimes you can get really good tools. Or very rare... No! He's going down the hill! No, 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 no! Stop! Stop right there! Okay, it stopped. Okay, I was imagining that thing going down the hill, gaining some speed, and then exploding due to the amount of forces it was generated, but no, 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 it's right here. Okay, let's search for the button. And... we got a rainbow welder. Now, that's all good and all, but what we want is the access port for this thing. Hello! And in here, we got 41 steel plates. You know, given the very... No, don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare. I'm sorry, guys. This thing was trying to run away from me. but only due to the gravity of the map. And yeah, as we are grinding this down, as we go over here, as we can see, we are gaining a good amount of resources. Those resources are going to be put into our starter build. So let me just grind this down. And from that, we got... Come on, game, please stop. We got a bunch of good stuff. It's stuff that we don't have to build or mine for. It just cost me some running time. So, you know what? It's one of those things. You have to weigh the amount of time that you spend running versus the amount of time you could spend mining, but at the same time there is always that chance of getting a tier 2 or tier 3 tool. So, yeah. Let me just sprint my way back home now. Here we are. Deposit all the stuff, and now I'm going to do something. I'm going to go into my build planner, and I'm going to remove the assembler, because I already took out some components and then I deposit some components. So I have confused the build planner, and you don't want to confuse it. The build planner is already confusing enough. It likes to confuse itself a lot of times. So we are going to take these components that we already have, which is fantastic, and we are going to put them over here. We don't need to weld them all. But unfortunately, it would appear that, going to our production, we are still missing a bunch of stuff, so... It is time for me to resume my mining operations. Alright, my friends, so this is my third trip over here. Let me deposit this. Still a little bit of stone. We are... let me take a look. I believe we have enough components now to finish up everything that we need. I think. Not withdraw 8 motors. The motors is the last thing that we need, apparently. Let's see. Yep, let's prioritize that in the production queue. Let's go over here. Production queue. Motores. Please give me those engines. You know, there is no reason for me not to go grab more stone while I was waiting for the motors to be ready. But now they are. Finally, we can build our assembler. Let's go over here. Let's build this bad boy. And let me tell you, if you think the basic assembler is expensive, then you just wait for the battery. And the refinery right next to us. Now, we don't really need those 20 extra plates, as it is above the functional line, but I like to have everything completed. Just because. Now, this thing doesn't have any power, because, you know, this is not working. So, maybe we should put the wind turbine next on the build planner. Let me just recover some energy. Energy is quick to recover, but, oh... I think... Why are you wobbling? Don't wobble on me, I don't like that. Now, we put the components on the build planner. Let's try to withdraw them first. Let's see, did I take anything? Yeah, I took a few components. Let me just dump them over there. Okay, they are dumped. Whoa, easy. And now we can request the remaining things to be built. All the components have been put into production, and I'm pretty sure we don't have enough resources to build those. Now, do we? Of course we don't. The stone is over. And let me put those plates over there, as we don't need them right now. So, yeah. If you are guessing that I have to go mine again, you were correct. Luckily for me, because we are deeper now, it's much quicker to grab stone. In fact, I can grab stone faster than the survival kit can process it. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too long. Give me a couple of minutes while I do a couple of back and forward journeys between my hole in the ground and my survival kit to deposit all of these stones. And once we have the components that we need, we are going to resume building that wind turbine over there. Well, it would appear that we now have the components that we need. Let me go over here and withdraw the components. All the components were successfully withdrawn. That's the most beautiful message anyone can hear. Let's build this wind turbine, and after this one we just need to build two more things. A battery and our refinery. There we go. Now, I placed the wind turbine over there on purpose, because in this game, every block that the wind turbine is above the ground will mean that that thing will generate more power. So, yeah, believe that 4 blocks will be enough for us, but after we add the battery in, which I believe I need probably plates, let me just take a look. Now I probably can build batteries, can't I? Battery. Let's go to control 2. Now, in the early stage, my toolbars are just a mess. We need steel plates. Let's go over here. We have plenty of steel plates, but look at that thing. 80 power cells. Those things, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. I mean, I think that's a little bit too much, but okay. That thing is very expensive. Okay, let me just dump these steel plates, because we're going to need them. That way they are not added to the build planner. Now let's add the stuff into the build planner.
Fuel low.
Okay. Jesus, let's go into the survival kit over here and let me just refuel my fuel, which is already done. I'm going to deposit the stuff that I have on my inventory, and then I'm going to request whatever I have in there, and then I'm going to put the rest into the production queue. However, there is one stuff that wasn't put. I'll have to discover in the end. But now, if you are guessing that I will have to probably go do a little bit more mining, let me just tell you that you are correct. Time for the base manager to turn himself into the miner manager. Well guys, I am a dum-dum. Do you remember when we got that message, one component could not be put into production? Do you see what is the component that is missing? The power cells, of course. That is terrible. Because that means one thing, we can only build power cells over here. Let me see, can I put them into production? I can. And we are going to need a lot of stuff. We can see over here 266 iron and a little bit of the other stuff. Maybe we have that available already to us over here. You know, it's not terrible. Let's take all of this. Let's take all of this. Let's put it in there. How much did I need? I think I have enough. Okay, now it's just a matter of time until I get all of that produced. But while that is building over there, I'm going to go into my build planner, I'm going to remove the battery, I'm going to put the basic refinery, and I'm going to grab more stone to build the components for the refinery itself. Material-wise, we are almost there. It's just the iron that is becoming the issue, but that's okay. I believe that one over here has stopped, so we go into the... What appeared to be the issue? Why aren't you producing inventory full? Oh, of course. This thing, it's a tiny little inventory. So, yeah, forgot about that. Let's dump these batteries over there, or in this case, power cells. Please, manager. And yeah, still need to wait a little bit longer. Okay, so over on this side, we already have the batteries ready. I keep calling them batteries. No, they're power cells, base manager. Which means this thing can now be totally built. Here we go. Once again, you don't need to, after that line, the functional line, you don't need to put those components in, you know, the computers, construction components and steel plates. I just like to be a completionist. Complete thingy. Now, in here, I'm going to take these things back with me. Thank you very much. And I'm going to put them all over here to aid in the construction process. Let's put everything in. Let's go into our production, and we can see we still don't have enough iron. And that means only one thing, that first I must remove this gravel, as it's doing nothing over there, and second, that I have to go and mine more stuff. But as for this gravel, as it is a loose entity, eventually, if I drop it in the world, oops, it is going to despawn. If we go over here, bye bye. That thing eventually will despawn, especially if we go over a great distance. But yeah, as you probably could see already, the theme in the early game is mine, mine, and mine a little bit more. This is why, once again, I repeat myself, this is why it is imperative that we find a good iron node. That way we can put a drill to mine all of those resources for us automatically, and we are golden. All we need to do is build, build, build. No longer need we concern ourselves with the menial tasks of grabbing your drill in both of your ends and sticking it into which is, overall, a very dirty hole. Alright guys, so after 5,000 different journeys I finally got myself enough stone that we have all the materials that we need. Oh beautiful, all components were successfully withdrawn. That's the message I love to see. Let's put them all in the basic refinery and complete our starter base. And after this is built, I will just check one thing quickly. I just want to see if we are generating enough power to have at least one of these things running full time. So let's just go over here. Right now let's go into battery. Battery will be fully recharged in 9 hours, meaning we are generating power. Let me just go over here. Maximum output is 280. This thing consumes, yep, this consumes more than we output. This consumes in just exactly the same amount of energy. So, if there is nothing running, we are accumulating power in our tiny little battery. But if there is something running, we'll be draining. But yeah, this battery is more than enough. Now, the advantage of having this thing is the fact that first you can build more advanced components like the power cells and the other things that we don't have the ability to build in our survival kit. But also, we just need to dump our stone into the basic refinery from now on, and it will automatically process it into useful resources. So we want to go over here into our survival kit, and we want to take everything away from it, and we want to dump it over here, except for the gravel. So let me just put that over there. Then I can go over here into the assembler and put this stuff over here and this stuff over here, if we don't want to put it inside of our basic refinery. Come on, go in. You know you want to. But in any case, now that we have this available to us, I'm going to do a couple more mining journeys so that we can have some resources, and then we can finally start thinking about having a vehicle of sorts, right? So what we going to need for a vehicle? Let's go put into our toolbar what we are going to need in the future. We are going to need a cockpit, of which we cannot build it just yet, I assume. Cockpit over here, it requires really a landing gear. Okay, so here's a neat trick. Here's a neat trick, guys. Okay, here's your landing gear. Right? You grind it down a little bit. And by building that, we now can build the cockpit. Yep, you can pretty much do the same, you know, for everything. Just go over here, grind it down a little bit. Unknown technology. Oh, I screwed up. But yeah, eventually we are going to have to go that way. Let's see. Progression. Thrusters. Thrusters, I say. Where are they? Here they are. Ion thrusters, just atmospheric thrusters. That requires a seat. Okay, okay, okay. That's doable. Hopefully... Come on. Don't destroy. Do not destroy. Very gently. And then we build it back up. And then we'll do the same to the thruster. Because now, apparently, Nope, still unknown technology, really. You still didn't allow me to build that, huh? Oh, forget what I did. I was looking at this as a whole, but no, these are two complete different branch trees. You need to build a cockpit, but that's okay because we are going to build a cockpit eventually, so we can put the resources over here so we don't spend them, and then I will just weld it back on, and we'll get that in our blueprint, in our thingy as well. Most importantly, let's get back to what we were doing. Now that we have the cockpit, let's put it over here in our toolbar. We are going to need wheels as well, so let's take that. Wheels, off-road left, off-road right. Fan-freaking-tastic. And we need a battery and a gyro. Batteries we already have. A gyro, which we don't. Let's go over here. What do we need for the gyro? Gyro. Okay, we just need to build the cockpit, so nothing too serious. Just need to go and build ourselves the cockpit, and then we'll be able to unlock all the parts that we need. But first, as I said, just time to do some more mining, and I think we are going to leave the construction of our vehicle, our exploration rover, to a future episode. This one we got started, so I think it's only fair. In between episodes, however, I'm just going to do a couple of mining trips. This is, you know, tedious work that you guys don't really need to see. It's pretty much just look at rock and press F. So there's nothing much to see. And in the next episode we should be able to start with a couple of resources in our bag, and that way we'll have a much easier time building ourselves our exploration rover. But with all of that said, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, and hopefully you will enjoy this series. And if that's the case, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye!